part of the Press Play Podcast Network.
Look up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane,
This is Jason J. Lewis, the voice of Superman on Justice League Action. This is Mark Wade, writer of Superman Birthright, and you're listening to the Krypton Report.
Welcome to the Krypton Report podcast, the only podcast you ever need to listen to for anything DC or Superman. That's not true, but I wish it was. I'm your host, Tyler, the Superman of Blue, the Man of Tomorrow. And with me, as always, that bearded, good-looking man who just had a birthday, Mr. James Cole.
Yay! Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up? What up, Superman of Red, Man of Steel himself?
Yes, sir. Yep, just had my birthday.
Yeah, he did. He's 40.
I mean, I'm closer to 40 than 30, but geez.
You're like, shut up, Tyler. It's like, you're like, dude, I'm going to punch you so far in the face. I'm like, whoa, hey.
I'll punch you so hard, you're going to hit the moon and break it in half.
I'm going to go up to the moon and sign my name and come back. What? But dude, it's good to chat. Seems like it's been forever. But it's
yeah, I mean, besides every day, but yeah, a little over a week here.
just to hear the sweet sounds of your voice. It's like comfort
smooth
for
caramel.
The soul. For all the listeners out there, just know that James loves coffee. And by coffee, I mean the way that Luke Cage loves coffee.
I mean, yeah, I do love coffee.
All right, now we're getting off track. This is a family podcast. But hey, speaking of
Sweet Christmas.
Might as well get the sad news out of the way first. As of this recording, we did lose a member of the Super family. We lost actor David Warner. And some of you might not realize he played Jor-El, one of two versions of Jor-El on Lois and Clark. I think to most of our generation, he is known as the Professor in Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze.
Yeah. That, and he was the voice for Ra's al Ghul on Batman the Animated Series.
And that would be the third thing.
Yes, it would.
And he passed away today. So I just want to get the sadness out of the way before we get to all the fun, because we have a lot to talk about. A lot. So much that Jania...
What just happened? Whoa.
Jania might leave me. Like, we have so much to talk about. Like, we have comics to get to, but we might have to push the comic back. We'll see.
I mean, I'd be okay with that. I mean, all we got this week is really a single comic.
Yeah. And we talked about, we've been doing our watch through Superboy season 2. I telling all of our listeners, watch your Superboy. Watch your Superboy.
Yeah, go over to Tubi and watch Superboy.
So it's been fun. I'm enjoying it a lot. So yeah, I encourage all of our listeners. So it's been a long day. Built a fence last week. We are painting our deck, and we pressure washed the deck and the fence, and I thought we just had old wood. No, it was just covered in algae. And it looks like a brand new deck.
Oh yeah. Power wash, blast that stuff off of there. Yeah. Well, I mean, heck, you've been doing that. I almost broke my finger using a main drain snake. It's still the biggest finger on my left hand now from the swelling.
Jeez. I told James that if we took all of our activities and put them on a show together, it'd be like Tool Time, where I would be like Tim. I just talk and try to look good, and James stands in the back with a beard and actually can do stuff. And he would say, I don't think so, Ty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now watch as James shows you how to properly use this tool and make something out of wood.
Right.
Good times. But hey,
I loved Home Improvement. That was a great show growing up.
Why is it not streaming? I'm like 90% sure it's not streaming.
It was a few years ago because I remember I started watching it and then at some point, I stopped and then I can't find it again.
Yeah, it's not streaming anywhere. It's one of those 90s like sitcoms that just isn't streaming. Same thing like the Drew Carey show. It's weird. But hey, if you liked Home Improvement, you probably liked Last Man Standing, which was the same show, just it was flipped. But hey, we digress. Okay,
kind of. I mean, it got a little too political on Last Man Standing. It was really good, except for those moments,
I'll have you know that as of right now, it's late, and I'm still drinking my Zoa. Why? I don't know. I'm an idiot.
Oh, well, I'm getting wine drunk.
Yeah. And I will have you know that there is a special edition Zoa cans coming with Black Adam on it. What? And you best believe we're going to be hunting those as a family.
Yeah. I'll definitely grab me one. We actually we picked up some Zoa yesterday, We've had a lot of work to do. Like I say, that had to get our main drain cleared. I rented it. I rented the tool, and then they didn't send me home with enough. Honestly, once I finally got it started after, it almost ripped my finger off. If I would have had enough, I'd have kept on going and I'd have got it cleared. But he sent me home with like 80 feet, and I probably got to run about 70. And then the plumber came in the next day and had to run about 120 feet and got it cleared out at about 116 feet. So,
see, if only James was Superman, we wouldn't have these problems.
Right.
We're trying, but we just can't do it. So if anyone doesn't know, we're just having fun here, but San Diego Comic-Con just happened. And that's what we're here to talk about today. A lot of good stuff. And we're going to hit some of the smaller stuff first, building up to the bigger stuff. Now, here's a piece of news that came out right before San Diego Comic-Con is we're getting another podcast drama. And it's going to be based on the Joker and Harley. And it's going to feature Christina Ricci as Harley Quinn. What do you think about that, James?
I mean, I've always liked Christina Ricci.
Maybe a little too much, James.
Probably a little too much. Thankfully, we're close to the same age, so
yeah. To quote one
it
of
was
my
appropriate. It was
to
appropriate.
Quote one of my favorite movies. I'm going to insert Christina Ricci instead of the character of Diane Lane. Christina Ricci, I had my first boy-girl thing with you. Honestly, really, you're really important to me. Really. That's a paraphrase from my favorite movie of all time, That Thing You Do. But yeah, she's going to be Harley Quinn. That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, and that's a DC Legacy casting. She was Tara in the Judas Contract back in the old animated continuity.
It's going to be called Harley Quinn and the Joker Sound Mind. It's coming from the people who worked on Batman Unburied, which I just started listening to. And
are you paying for it now?
No, I'm not. That's unless I'm paying for it and I don't know it. That's I went to Spotify.
Is it free on Spotify now?
Maybe. I don't know. I just went to
Oh.
Spotify and signed up, and it was like, what do you want? And I picked our podcast, yes. and
Yeah.
and then I looked for Batman Unburied, and it popped up. So unless there's somewhere that I'm paying, it says that, okay, maybe I have free premium for 14 days. I don't know. All I know is right now, I have Spotify free right now, the free plan. I could sign up for the student package. I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to listen to it quick. Anyway, so I'm listening to it. It's pretty good. I'm on episode 3. There's a couple things I'm not sure about with the story, what they're doing, so I'm going to kind of see. And as far as the Harley Quinn thing, the other cast that's been announced is Billy Magnuson as the Joker. I feel like I know that name, but I can't think of the face. And Justin Hartley as Bruce Wayne.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah. All right, Billy Magnuson. Okay. All right. Interesting looking chap. He played Logan Ash in No Time to Die. Most recent film. Okay. He was Prince Anders in Aladdin. He's done stuff, just nothing that's popping other than that. Okay, all right. Okay, it's always interesting to hear what people have in their vocal range. So, yeah, that could be cool. I enjoy these podcast dramas. They're fun, or can be fun, should we say?
Yeah,
So, yeah.
I mean, I had started the Batman radio drama that is on HBO Max because you can listen to it in podcast form. And I know I've listened to a couple of episodes. I don't think I finished it, though.
That one is fun, but it's done very much like an old radio show.
Yeah, it was.
Like, Unburied's done as like you're watching a show with your eyes closed.
Oh, interesting.
Like it has all the sound effects and like everything. It's really cool. I've enjoyed it. Like I said, I'm going to give it at least 2 more episodes. If the story doesn't start to make more sense, I'm done. But anyways, moving on. Let's see. Superman and Lois. Season 2 Blu-ray has been announced for September 27th, with Season 3 starting to film in September, which was confirmed by Elizabeth Tulloch. And that's really all we know. We didn't get a lot of information out of San Diego about it, other than she knows who the big bad is. And I'm like, okay, great, thank you. Glad you know. Let's see. We got a couple of photos, nothing revealing, for Pennyworth Season 3, the forgotten DC show that hopefully, now that it's on HBO Max, will get some attention, because it's a very interesting show. If you like Gotham, it's in that same flavor.
Yeah, I saw most of Season 1, and then I didn't finish it during the time I had the trial for Epics. So then I never got a chance to watch Season 2. But since they came to HBO Max, I had put it on my list. And, I mean, there's a point here where I have... You know how you watch... You wait to watch a lot of things with Jania.
Mm-hmm.
And wait to watch some things with Jamie. And sometimes we're caught up watching things together. I don't get to watch other things that I want to watch or other things that I need to watch.
Yep.
And then I kind of I just don't get that chance. So sometimes I feel like, I just got to put this on and watch it for myself at some point.
Yeah. And then you go back like, hey, baby.
Right.
Hey there, Buckaroo. My name's not Buckaroo. Yeah, it is. So Pennyworth is good, and it's coming this fall. That's all it says, this fall, which can mean anywhere up till like December 22nd, 21st is when winter officially appears. So that's cool. That's something to look forward to. Let's see here. we got our so moving on to like some video game stuff. We got Gotham Knights, the Batgirl trailer, which I thought was awesome that we got it, but weird that it was just kind of dropped in the middle of everything where we've been getting the other ones by themselves. Like, not a full Gotham Knights trailer for the game, just the Batgirl portion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, they've kind of been doing character trailers like that.
Right. But I'm saying, like, they just dropped that during Comic-Con. Like, here's the trailer for the Batgirl character. Instead of, like, to me, that doesn't feel like a Comic-Con worthy thing. It's her turn as a character.
Right. I mean, it just came up on my notification as, a DC notification drop for the Gotham Knights Batgirl. I guess I just didn't even pay attention to the time that it dropped, that maybe it was released in the middle of fandom.
Yeah, or Comic-Con.
Comic-Con.
James.
I'm sorry, I'm hoping for our fandom this year.
Well, okay. So I'm going to jump because I didn't really get a whole lot out of the Batgirl trailer other than it still looks good. I just can't wait for the game.
I mean, yeah, the game looks awesome. I mean, each character has their own individual fighting style and weapons and like modes of transportation and things like that. That's what it is. It's a character trailer. It's not really anything that gives us any more idea of what the story is going to be, other than what we know. Really, just the Bat family protecting Gotham when Batman's no longer around.
Right. So yeah. What I was going to say is I hear rumors, that there may be fandom. I don't know. But there was rumors and stuff that popped up that they're waiting, and we'll get there to what wasn't at Comic-Con, that maybe that there will be fandom. So,
yeah, because right now fandom isn't officially announced as a date. I'm very much hoping we get one.
Yeah.
This year.
So
it's kind of been a big deal the last couple of years.
And I think you have enough stuff to really make it good this year. And we'll get there here in a minute. So that's kind of a thing I'm like looking at, like, will there be a secret fandom? Because that would be really awesome if there is. To help for some of the stuff. Now, let's see. Jumping to comics. Okay. We found out that Dark Crisis is actually, ready, James? Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah, we saw the trailer for that, and I mean the idea was pretty cool. They showed some panels or some artwork where it looks like the Infinite Earths kind of still exist. It's kind of like what Infinite Frontier had built towards from the end of Dark Knight's or Death Metal.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know the images of all the villains and stuff, like they've got like the Anti-Monitor and Pariah and different things like that coming back.
So they're basically rebirthing the Infinite Multiverse, I guess. But I thought, like you said, I thought that was what the whole point of the Infinite Frontier was all that was already done.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I thought. I'm a few
I just feel like they're at a point.
I'm behind on Dark Crisis. I haven't started it yet, so
but even then, that hasn't done anything that would play into that. It's been 2 issues with a 0. And even then, like it hasn't done anything yet that plays into the
Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if that's what the next issue would be. That's why they're being released the way they are.
Right. Well, isn't that what the trailer said though? It's after or with issue 3, it's Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths as opposed to
Dark Crisis.
Just Dark Crisis.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm definitely going to have to catch up on it. I was kind of thinking I was going to wait for it to drop on DC Universe Infinite, but if it's going to impact the greater multiverse kind of or the greater universe moving forward, then I might need to know what's happening before 6 months from now.
Yeah.
If it's going to affect the books that we're reading.
So I guess I'm confused because I thought the whole point of the Infinite Frontier was everything counts, anything can happen, unlimited Earths, whatever, I think that DC's maybe at a point now where they don't even know what they're saying anymore or what's going on.
Sometimes it seems that way. I mean, that's kind of one thing that, especially in the cinematic realm, is why like Marvel is the powerhouse it is. They give you something to look forward to. They stick to that, and they actually build to it and continue to build after it. Like, that's what I don't get why that's an issue.
We'll get into that here in a minute.
Yeah.
Sticking with comics. So it was announced we're getting a Superman 78 Volume 2?
Yeah, it was like secretly hidden. Vendetti did a post, and it was like the last sentence of a post that he made, or something in an interview. I forget exactly what it was.
Exactly, it was so like, oh, by the way, hey.
Yeah, but it was just like, yeah, we're working on the next volume of Superman 78, and that was it.
And you're like, oh, snap, dude!
Right?
Well,
I enjoyed it, and I want to get it on hardback. It was just released hardback.
Of course you do.
And
So right before we got on recording, I saw something about a book that's coming out called Superman: The Harvest of Youth. I don't know if it's going to be one of those like graphic novel, like novella thingies they've been doing.
Yeah, like the young adult graphic novels they've been doing.
It's one I'll definitely get from the library.
Yeah, they had the Beast Boy and Raven one. They had
the Frost, the Mr. Freeze and Nora one, Victor and Nora.
Yeah, that's even the one they did with was it the House of L? They had one of those, House of L. I want to check that one out. And actually, just for seeing as it kind of really ties into what we were doing before and how they brought Dreamer into comics with Superman Son of Kal-El number 13. If you haven't listened, Supergirl Radio had a interview with Nicole Maines, who was Dreamer on Supergirl. She has actually had a hand in bringing Dreamer to the comics. She's the reason Dreamer is in this issue of Superman Son of Kal-El. and she is writing a young adult novel for DC, for Dreamer.
Well, that's awesome.
So, I mean, I think that'll be something I'll pick up, because she's getting to develop that character. I mean, it's kind of like why I am interested in, as we will talk about shortly, I'm sure, the Riddler Year 1 coming up.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what that is.
Oh, okay. That's not on our slate to talk about then. Anyways, Dreamer from Supergirl. She has a hand in actually crafting this character, and crafting this character for the comic world too. So I think that's really awesome.
Oh, you mean that bi-monthly comic written by Paul Dano? What?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
All right.
So it's a bi-monthly comic written by Paul Dano.
It's Black Label.
Yes.
And it picks up where we left Riddler from the Batman.
And that, I think, is what's interesting. Is I'm going to read it. I'm definitely going to be one. And that, to me, shows how DC is behind the Batman. Like, that's one of their forefront things now, you know?
I mean, DC is behind anything Batman. Every single week, there's like 6 books for Batman.
6 books, 7 shows, 13 actors.
Right. So anything Batman, they're ready to go behind. Honestly, in my opinion, the interesting thing about it is it's going to be about the Riddler, and it's written by the guy playing the Riddler, so he gets to really expand that character from his point of view, not somebody else's script. Right. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's what makes it infinitely more interesting to me than seeing him again. Seeing him again in a movie, because Paul Dano didn't write the movie. Yeah. I have to watch that again. I haven't seen it in a while.
I'm going to watch it with the kids because I made an edited version for the kids.
Well, you know what? The last couple of DC movies that have come out, the Suicide Squad and that, I haven't even bought them. I buy them all.
I haven't bought the Batman yet, just because I was waiting. Because I had access to it. You know, that was the thing, was Brian bought it, and I have access to Brian's digital library, and it's on HBO. You know,
right?
And I just
and it was on. I just saw it on sale this weekend for $10, but that's a digital copy. And
right, I debated buying it, but
want the physical and the digital.
Yep,
watch it anywhere. But if I'm at home, I'm gonna throw in that Blu-ray or eventually that 4K, and I don't have to worry about the internet giving me problems.
Exactly,
and my picture quality dropping and all that crap.
Speaking of digital, Zack Snyder's Justice League did come out on digital. And it was weird for the first day or two or whatever, because I went to play my copy. I had no special features, and it played, and it filled the whole screen. Like, it started in the regular 4:1 4:3. Dang it, I can't talk. Aspect ratio, and then it like blipped, and then it went and filled the whole TV. And then the next day, I opened it. And it was the correct aspect ratio, and it had the special features on it. One being the Justice is Gray version, and a little making of documentary with Zack Snyder.
All right. The weird thing was that you talk about the release. Like, the release was very weird, because I bought it, and I bought it on Amazon Prime. And, people were like, what's this Amazon saying it's 8 hours? Like, Well, it's the regular version and the Justice's Gray version back to back, because Amazon's really weird with its special features. They just like continue playing after the movie, which is kind of stupid. So that's what it was. It was the movie twice. It was the color and the Justice's Gray. But it was in German, and I was like, I started playing it, not even realizing, because why would the only audio language be German?
Well, there's
you
not
know what I'm saying?
Dialogue. There's not spoken dialogue for a little while. It's just him screaming.
So I started playing it, and then it's in German, and I'm like, well, I can't watch this. I mean, yeah, I took German in high school, but I only know words. Like, I can't watch an entire movie in the spoken language.
James, you're telling me that you haven't memorized it yet, that you don't need the words?
No, it's not like reading Kryptonian.
No, that's true.
Like, which I did at one point. I could read the Kryptonian that they use in the comic books.
Dope.
But yeah, I was like, why? Like, I can't, and then they wouldn't let me cancel it or refund it. You know what I mean? At least when you just initially click on it, and they're like, you started playing it, you can't do this. So, I just messaged, and they took care of it right away. It wasn't an issue. So I ended up rebuying it over on Vudu. But then there were no special features. And now, I don't know about Vudu, but on Movies Anywhere, because, it's all linked through Movies Anywhere. But on Movies Anywhere now, the special features are available. And they weren't there before. So the release has been very weird.
I'm checking my Movies Anywhere as we talk. Because I haven't signed into what do you call it? My Movies Anywhere for a little while. So hold on a second here. Where my movies? See, because my couple.
Well, so on my phone, it's My Movies Anywhere. On my tablet, it's My Movies Anywhere. But like on my TV and stuff, it's Your Movies Anywhere. So we can watch the other things with the kids that I don't have.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's how we do it, people.
Right.
See, Justice League isn't showing up at My Movies Anywhere.
Oh, I bought it. Yeah, I bought it on my Vudu, and it's on My Movies Anywhere, and it's available on my Prime because it's all linked. And on my Prime, they updated the language, so English is now available. But now it's not an 8-hour cut because it's not both of them back to back. So it's really freaking weird.
Well, it's weird. I bought it on iTunes, okay, and it's weird because. I also bought Jurassic World for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And Jurassic World Dominion's there, but Zack Snyder's Justice League isn't there.
Huh.
Anyways, we digress. And I'm about to fight with Movies Anywhere, but whatever. But speaking of Zack Snyder, he's about to make another appearance. Did you see that?
Yes, I did.
Mr. Snyder's going to be appearing on Teen Titans Go.
Which the image that he shared has like 300 and Batman versus Superman like in like movie posters behind him or something.
And he's in his new like Zach uniform. Like it's so crazy. Like you used to watch behind the scenes and like Snyder be like in sweatpants and a t-shirt, and now he wears like jeans, dress shirt, a tie, and a vest.
Yeah.
Like, all right, man.
And that's what he's in. He's in the jeans and the button-up shirt and the vest in that Teen Titans Go picture.
It's like, all right, Snidey, looking sharp, buddy. And oh yeah, speaking of, doesn't this week Harley Quinn premiere this week?
Yes, on the 28th, Thursday. Yes, Thursday.
Thursday.
I
Cool.
was dragging there for a second, thinking that maybe it wasn't Thursday, but it is Thursday.
Let's see. We're making our way through everything. This is interesting. This came a little bit before, but McFarlane is releasing a Superman/Batman Speeding Bullets figure, which I talked about before. James, you've talked about on the podcast.
Yes. Yes.
That's
Spoke
where
about Speeding Bullets.
Where basically Superman is found and adopted by the Waynes and becomes Batman. So it's like they're giving us a Batman figure, but they're winking at us because it's Superman. But it's still Batman.
So, once again, every time we turn around and say, like, I got all my Superman figures, or like I need to, save a little money here, McFarlane's like, no, you don't.
They're like, coming this fall, the Superman collection. Every month, subscribe and get a new Superman figure as we retrace the Man of Steel's history, starting with this exclusive Kirk Allen. And first appearance Action Comics.
Yeah, that first appearance figure you got was pretty sweet.
It is sweet. My wife was dope. Took me to Kentucky last week. Got me a Superman first appearance. This comic shop. It's awesome. It has the blue boots and stuff. Like, I was trying to explain that to the kids, show them in the comic itself. But speaking of figures, I got me a new Superman figure. I had to break down and buy it from Amazon because I can't find it in stores, but I got me the Superman Fisher-Price with Krypto for the upcoming Super Pets movie.
Awesome.
It said ages 3 and up, James. Okay? 3 and up.
You're older than 3.
I'm part of the up.
Play with it.
I'm the up. Okay, so I got it because I wanted to get something to help support Super Pets, and I wanted a Krypto in my collection. And I'm debating whether or not, because I have a shelf for figures in front of me, McFarlane figures, that's going to be my movie shelf. And right now I have Batman and I have Cavill Superman. And I'm debating whether or not to put Krypto right next to him. Don't know. But speaking of Fisher-Price and kids, we got a short little intro theme song trailer for Bat Wheels. Are you ready to zoom into this, James?
Yes. I watched it once. I showed it to Allura.
When she was like, "Yeah."
Yeah. Oh, she liked it. She really did.
It's called good parenting.
Jamie liked it less because she doesn't like the baby watching stuff, so.
You just can't win.
I know. Whatever. I'm with her 6 hours alone twice a week, Saturday and Sunday every weekend. So
you're like, this is daddy and daughter bonding over Batman.
Yup.
Look, pizza, Coca-Cola, and Batman bring people together. Okay, I know I'm a Superman fan for life, but some people have an issue. But there's really no one who hates Batman. Okay, and even my dad will watch Batman the Animated Series with me. So just remember that, people. And it is coming. Let's see. The Secret Origins of the Batwheel zooms 9/17 to comic Cartoon Network and on HBO Max. So
yeah, I'm glad it's coming to HBO Max.
Yeah, I feel like
I get to watch it with the little ones. Like, it looks like it's going to be really fun.
I feel like there was so much like little DC content that was lost because it was like on Cartoon Network, like in like their little like 10-minute shorts or whatever.
Yeah.
Because like speaking of which, like I just bought Sailor season 2 because it was on sale on iTunes of DC Superhero Girls because season 1's on Netflix, but they've yet to drop season 2.
Yeah.
And she's been loving it. And we talk all the time about having something for the kids. Because that's where I feel like DC's been really, is not really making it accessible and beefing up their kids' stuff. Because like Superhero Girl should be on HBO Max.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you know, speaking of DC Superhero Girls, I did start that on Netflix last weekend, and
it's fun.
I liked it, and Allura dances to the opening, to the intro every time. Very, very catchy. And then it was funny. We watched like 10 episodes, you know, because they're short. And
yeah, they're 11 minutes with credits.
Yeah. So we watched like 10 episodes, and I was about to turn off an episode, and Jamie was like, "Wait, what are you doing? Like, I have to know how it ends."
Oh, there's some good stuff in there, man. Like when I first tried it, I didn't like it, but then I went back and watched it with Sayla, and we liked it. And like I said, I bought season 2, and we sat there, and she sat there and watched them back to back to back, and we burned through like 5 or 6 of them. And then Jania came home and sat down and started watching some with Sayla, so it was cool. So that gets us to our new 2023 animated slate for DC films, the direct-to-video market. Are you ready, James?
I am ready.
So let's check this out. Okay. We have 4 movies, and here they go. RWBY Justice League. I have no idea what RWBY is.
It's Ruby, and it is an anime of sorts. And I know that they are doing a Ruby Justice League comic, like monthly, but that is literally all I know.
I'm pulling it up, and it looks like it'll probably be in the vein of Catwoman Hunted. And guess what? I just can't get behind like anime stuff. I tried repeatedly. I just don't like it.
I mean, I grew up liking Gotham. I grew up liking anime. I grew up watching anime.
I mean, I watched Gundam Wing, and Voltron. That counts. But
it does. I did grow up watching a lot more anime than you, I would say.
Yeah, I just named 2, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I could name quite a few.
Let me just wheel it off here.
Yeah. Well, like one of my cousins, like Japanese anime and learning Japanese and all this stuff, like it was huge for her. So I watched a whole bunch of obscure ones in Japanese with her. So, you know, I've watched a lot of anime growing up.
I dated a girl who was really big into it, and we tried to watch some. And she was really big into Sailor Moon. And there's some other ones I watched with her, and I was just like, okay.
Yeah, there's some really good ones, and there's some good ones that are, you know, really popular. I mean, like Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball, and you know, Naruto, and I mean, they've made a bunch of them live action on Netflix. You know, Death Note and
Cowboy Bebop,
and Full Metal Alchemist, and you know, they've done quite a bit, and I mean, it's kind of like, you know, Gotham. What was it? Gotham Knights.
Yeah,
Gotham Knights. Was that the one it was called? The one that came out in 2008.
Yep, and we'll talk about that more in an upcoming episode, won't we, James?
Batman Ninja.
We'll talk about that too more in an upcoming episode.
Catwoman Hunted. You know, lots, like they've definitely had anime involved, and you know, actually, anime studios were heavily involved in Batman the Animated Series and Superman the Animated Series and Justice League cartoons. So like it's been there a lot over the years. But there is just, yeah. So, but that's specifically what RWBY is. It's some sort of anime. Like I said, I have no idea what it is. I've never seen it. I've never read it. But that's what it is. I think we're getting a Justice League anime.
All right. The next one is Legion of Superheroes. And it's got the big Superman symbol behind it. Now this is cool. I mean, this could be a really good one. Or it could suck.
I mean, I'm interested.
I'm just like, I want Superboy to be in there some way. Like, if it was like the John Kent version, it would be really cool. But I don't, like, just the Legion by itself without, like, Superboy or Supergirl in there, I'm not as interested. And the fact that it has the S crest, the House of L crest, I'm intrigued by it.
Yeah. I mean, the Legion has been inspired most iterations, at least. I don't know if it's always the case, but most Legion iterations have been inspired by Superman in some way, shape, or form. Superman, Superboy, currently John Kent, and Connor Kent in Young Justice. So
Right.
I really think that's an awesome tie. So I'm looking forward to checking that out.
As am I. And I'll check it out,
I mean, I'd say I'm more excited for that one than I am RWBY. I'll definitely check out RWBY, but
I'm not excited for RWBY at all, just saying. But
no, not everything is for everybody, Tyler.
Whatever, James. It should always be for me. Don't they realize?
They should only focus on what Tyler wants.
Don't you know that I spend a lot of money on this stuff? Okay? And I keep up with buying everything.
I know, right? We spend money on it. God forbid we actually give a little input on what we would like to see produced from them. God, that's like an outrageous concept, right?
For real, bro. For real. But, oh well. We're just having fun here. To each his own. And then the next one is Batman: The Doom That Came to Gotham. And this is a Mr. Freeze best base story by Mike Mignola, most famously known for creator of Hellboy. I have not read it yet. I've seen the cover of it, and I will be reading it soon. And that's cool. It's a Batman, but that's fine.
I'm not sure if it's on DC Universe.
I don't think it is.
I don't think so. I've been searching for it, and I don't think it is.
Far be it from them to put something that we actually want to see on there and read, but whatever.
Well, they are always ever expanding the library, so maybe since it's coming out as a feature, they might want to put it on there.
You would think. And then the last animated film is Justice League War World. Now, my first thought is, do you think that any of these, besides RWBY there, is connected to the ongoing continuity?
I would hope that two of them are. I would think that maybe Legion would be connected.
See, I'm hoping Legion or like Justice League War World.
But absolutely War World should be connected. Because, I guess we get hints of the Justice League in the new Green Lantern coming out this week.
Yeah.
But I almost lost my train of thought there. That we get hints of it is what I've heard. We haven't seen it yet. But I would like to see, like, the first full movie Justice League in continuity. And I think that would be an amazing story to tell. There's a lot of ways they can go with it, with Mongol and Warworld. Warworld's been many different things over the years, so it'd be really interesting to see how they do that. But I think we should get those two in continuity. But if I had to pick one, absolutely Warworld to be in continuity.
All right. So, bring it down. We're excited.
Oh, yeah. Big time. I'm sure it helps that this Warworld saga we've been reading from Philip Kennedy Johnson in action has been so good.
It is a little bit of a bummer we're not getting, like, a story like adapted, as far as we know.
Right. Well, I think it's so new that it'd be hard pressed to, put it out that way.
I'm just saying, as far as the movies go, like, like how we had Long Halloween and everything.
Yeah.
We're not getting another adaptation of something for us to be like, oh my gosh, this story. Well, I guess the Doom that came to Gotham, I retract everything I just said.
Well, the Doom that came to Gotham is what it seemed. So I don't know if that would be in continuity. I don't know what the story is. So I don't know how it would fit in continuity with what they've done. Because I really do like how they've built it and how they're giving some more people a little more attention, as it were, so far.
Yeah, I agree.
So, we'll see. I kind of been in the mood to rewatch some of those continuity films, and I'm definitely excited to pick up the Long Halloween Deluxe Edition later this year and watch that as one whole movie.
Speaking of which, I've been watching on Amazon, looking. They've yet to be able to pre-order. What do you call it? The Long Halloween Deluxe on physical, or Battle of the Super Sons on physical. You can digitally, but not physical yet. And that's not cool, bro. All right. Now it's time to transition. Here's one that's a little different, but it's still technically DC. Did you watch the Sandman trailer?
I did.
What'd you think?
It looks excellent. Very supernatural. Very well done. The cast, the people who are there, the majority of people, I'm not quite sure who's playing Dream. Maybe is that Morpheus? I can't remember.
Lord Morpheus.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah, good old Larry Fishburne. So everybody else, the entire supporting cast of the show are phenomenal actors. I love them all in so many different things. So it looks great. Some of the things that Neil Gaiman has spoke about over the last couple of years in developing this show. Even though it's a DC property, I think with it being on Netflix, I think people are going to be like, wow, that looks great, and check it out.
Yeah.
And I think it'll do really well. It looks so good.
It does look really good. And my history with Sandman is I tried reading it. I couldn't get into it at first, but it always sounded great. You know, and then they did the audio book or whatever drama.
On
I-
Audible.
And I listened to the majority of that, but I ran out of time during my free trial because I'm poor. I buy too many McFarlane figures.
I don't know if it still
else.
is, but it was free because season 2 was coming out.
And, you know, I'm wondering, like, because one thing I was interested in with Sandman, okay, is we have Joanna Constantine. And I was like, are they just gender swapping John? But no. Joanna is a character. But I was like, John's grandma or great-grandma?
I was going to say, I think she's his grandmother.
Something like that. So I'm like, are they just kind of blending some things? You know, I am a little bummed that they didn't get... They have Gwendolyn Christie, right, as Lucifer.
Yes.
And I'm just kind of like, that's cool and all, but like, to me, she's not as, like, what do you call it? Androgynous as, like, I think they want her to be this character.
Yeah, kind of like how,
what's her face was on
in Constantine.
Yeah.
As Gabriel.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And Tilda Swinton. Took me a minute. Jeez.
Yep, that's it. There you go.
You know, and it's supposed to be the same Lucifer character that we met in the show Lucifer. So it'd been kind of cool if they would have got him, just to kind of tie it together. It'd been fun.
Right. I think he would have to play a different Lucifer, though. You know what I mean?
And that's fine. This would be like before he goes to Earth, you know?
Right.
But I'm intrigued, and that's coming up quick. And I'm actually really glad it's coming up quick. Because I'm really tired of like seeing trailers or being teased stuff, and then it's like months and months down the line. Like it's in either August or September.
Right. Well, I guess that's, I don't want to say it's a benefit of what's happened the last couple of years, but it kind of is, where the turnover rate of things going to streaming and stuff like that, like, they don't want to get you excited a year and a half out for something and drag it out only for it to come home in a month and a half. And you know what I mean? They want you to be excited about it just before it comes out and then pick it up as soon as it's ready to go. And that's it. You know what I mean?
And then you forget it ever happened.
Yeah, kind of like when I binged all the Netflix Marvel stuff.
Yeah, and then you're like, now what do I do with my life?
Right.
But now it's like, now we used to have to wait for the next show. Now it's like we have another show like right away. Okay, so now getting to the big part. The big Hall H DC Warner panel. And this is a little nugget I'm going to say before we get to that panel is Blue Beetle just wrapped filming. And the fact that Blue Beetle, Batgirl, Aquaman 2, and I guess you could say the Flash as well, were not present in this panel leads me to hope that maybe we'll get a fandom.
Oh yeah, I mean, I agree.
Because usually there's always presentations for stuff, that's coming out before next year's San Diego. And all of that will be released, except for maybe Batgirl, will be released before next July. And maybe Blue Beetle. We still don't know what they're doing with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen things today, because Comic-Con's over. People like did DC underperform? Were they ill prepared? Were they, you know what I mean? Like just criticizing the fact that all they brought was what they said they were going to bring.
And okay.
And it's like
that people, the expectation of people is what kills me. Is what you think is going to happen. And that's what they want compared to what they get. Like, that's the problem.
Oh, absolutely. It is the problem. It's the problem with it's the problem with the movies when they come out. It's the problem with them announcing things and showing things at things like this Comic-Con and even previous fandoms and stuff. People want bigger people want more than they say they're going to get, or people think they're going to see something different than what they're shown, and then they're upset. It's like, well, what are you upset by?
Right.
Like, because it's not what you pictured in your head. Did you make it? Did you, present it? Like, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? To that degree.
Here's my thing. I was talking to my friend Donovan about this. I was like, you know what? I look at it like this. Technically, Warner Discovery is a new company.
They're only 3 months old.
Okay. And let's look at what they have on the DC film slate. Aquaman. It's under controversy right now because of Amber Heard. And we don't know production behind what's going on.
And produced by the previous administration.
Everything they have has been inherited.
Yeah.
The only thing that they as a company said yes to going forward is the Batman 2. Which I call The Batman Returns. Anyways. So that's the only thing they have assigned to do. Everything else they have inherited. Okay? The Flash. Yes, it's pumped because of Michael Keaton and what it's supposed to do. It's Ben Affleck's swan song. But Ezra Miller has caused controversy. And they've inherited this mess. Okay? So what they've done is they're like, hey guys, here's 2 films that we have ready that are going to be fun that aren't that tied to everything else. Okay?
I got a little point there. Like, with as much controversy as people like to stir up and like to say without any facts behind it, like this quote unquote Ezra Miller controversy, like there hasn't been like all these charges and stuff like put forward. So I mean, it's like people, it could just be these clickbaiters, these bloggers, all this stuff like talking out their ass for no reason.
I mean,
there's trying to cause that controversy.
But there's always, if don't you know that in Hollywood, if someone allegedly does something, they did it.
Right. Absolutely.
But so you have this, and you're inheriting, and you're like coming with your 2 films. Like, look, these are 2 films that are connected, but they're a step outside, and they're ready to rock and roll to go with. So, hey guys, we got this ready for you. They're in a rebuilding year. And that's the thing, is they're in a rebuilding, restructuring time.
You know what? They're kind of lucky, honestly, to be in a point where, like you say, they're in a rebuilding year, but they've already got a year and a half's worth of things to push out.
Right.
So they've got things to release that have already been done while they decide and build where they want to go.
Exactly. So it's like, you know what? They have an amazing presentation with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson showing up there in full Black Adam gear, by the way. Okay, have you seen the photos of like him, or the video of him standing in front with the electricity around him and everything?
Yeah, that was a pretty awesome entrance. Kind of looked like he was floating, and it looked like there was all kinds of lightning all over the place because of the big screen.
Yeah, and what's interesting is the fact that like his costume is his Black Adam costume, but his belt, gauntlets, boots, and chest symbol are all a very strong, bright gold. Compared to what we've seen in the trailer, where it has the very burnt, like distressed, where the gold would be. So he came out and they presented some footage. It really wasn't, I guess, a trailer, but it kind of was. But what I find fascinating was there was more footage shown at Comic-Con than what was released.
Yeah, I've heard rumors of some extra things like Viola Davis, Amanda Waller, is
appears
in this movie. Yeah,
she puts the JSA together, and we see more of Black Adam's resurrection in the trailer. So, what did you think of the new footage that we saw?
You know, I'm excited for this movie. I mean, this kind of kept me right on par. We got to see a little more powers, so got to see him shoot more lightning. We got to see a little bit more of Dr. Fate, Pierce Brosnan. He takes off the helmet and becomes Kent Nelson, which is an awesome shot.
Yes, a little bit more of of Black Adam with his son. We see Black Adam with a bunch of Dr. Fates holding him back. Yeah.
We get to see a slow motion shot of Cyclone, a little bit of her powers going on there. Couple extra scenes of Noah,
Centos, Atom Smasher.
Atom Smasher is, yes. We got to see some more of him. We got to see Hawkman try to attack Black Adam, which looked pretty futile in the trailer. It looks really cool. I'm still very excited for this movie, and I'm absolutely waiting, trying to wait patiently for October.
I was trying to get the trailer to play for me without sound. I am too. I am very excited. I will say this, okay? Because after we watched the trailer, we were all pumped. We watched it as a family. And Sayla's like, wait, why is Black Adam fighting the other good guys? And Jania's like, because he's an anti-hero. And she's like, oh, okay. And then Jania's like, who's the villain? And then I pulled up like the toy of Sabak and kind of showed it and talked about it a little bit. And I'm like, I really want another trailer that has a tease or shows Sabak.
Yeah. Yeah, because at this point, we don't have an official villain. There is only that toy reveal. They haven't revealed Sabak to be the villain of the movie. And, I mean, from the sounds of it, the Comic-Con trailer kind of sounds like Black Adam might be the one who needs to be stopped by the JSA in this movie.
And maybe he does. You know, I have said that I think Sabak should be teased or brought to life at the end or something, and that's who Black Adam and Shazam should go against together. That should be like Shazam 3 or Black Adam 2 with Shazam, however you want to spin it, okay?
Well, because clearly, they're not afraid to layer superheroes and, tell a story, because honestly, that's how most of them are. Most of the stories that we know are. It's not just this one person, the one hero, the one villain, and that's all Batman it boils 89? Down to. Right?
You got to get as many people in a movie, period, as you can, because you're not coming just for one hero. You need like 7.
Well, the world, the universe is so big and so layered. Like most of the people that these characters interact with, whether on the hero side or the villain side, they're involved in the universe.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Sure.
That kind of makes sense to me. I've
I
liked how
agree.
I've really liked how they've developed, and I mean, in all honesty, that's how, because he was, kind of forced to play catch up. That's how the DCEU was built from the very beginning. When you got Man of Steel, BVS, Justice League, like that's how it was built. Like people kept coming in, it kept growing. More and more people were involved as it went. It wasn't one movie, and then a team up. One movie, and then a team up.
Right. I think it works, especially for like heroes like Dr. Fate or Atom Smasher and Hawkman and stuff. It's a great way of bringing them in. And
For sure.
Like I said, I'm excited for it. And like I was saying earlier, like this movie is removed enough from the others that it feels fresh. It feels new. And even with the Amanda Waller tie-in would be great, because we've seen that. And that really can help cement it where it takes place in time and everything. I will be upset if we don't get Djimon Hounsou in this film somewhere. As the wizard Shazam.
Yeah, I mean, he has to get his powers from the wizard somewhere.
Exactly. And which brings us to the big one. And I say that just because this is the first time we've seen anything. We got a full-on trailer for Shazam, Fury of the Gods. And was it fun? What did you think, James, before I rattle everything off and talk way too much?
I mean, I love the trailer. First time I was looking at it, I mean, I think Zach Levi is great as Shazam, but I've always had a little bit of like a disconnect. Like, is this how Asher Angel would be as an older person or not? Or do they seem like they're two different people?
Right.
That was kind of, I still think that once in a while when I watch Shazam, even though I think it's great and I love Zachary Levi's character. But so immediately, like, that's kind of like where my head went when I first started watching it again.
Mm-hmm.
But after I watched it the first time, I kind of, I got over that again. The same thing I do when I watch the movie and the first time he transforms into Shazam. I'm just like, I go with it because that's how it is. I mean, things I like in this trailer, like obviously we've got the mention and footage of the Flash, and I mean, we have to say that it's Snyder footage.
Well, do
of
we?
The Flash and Batman.
That's my thing is, do we? And that's the thing, because all these shots were used in the trailer and marketing for Justice League. The Flash footage is just him running, which is in both cuts of the movie.
It is.
I mean,
it is. But the gargoyle scene specifically is from one, not the other. Maybe the marketing material.
Exactly.
But it is specifically from one and not the other.
It is from the marketing material. So I mean, it's not like we're seeing black costume Superman, which would solidify it. So,
well, I think when I saw this the first time and he name dropped, he talked about a superhero in red with a lightning bolt on his chest. He said Aquaman, so cool and manly, so big and manly, or whatever. And then he said Batman, specifically left out Superman.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman. I mean, I think you can almost for him talking about other superheroes that maybe he could leave that one out a little bit, but specifically Superman. They left out Superman. he flies, he has super strength. He's kind of he's an idol for Shazam, and he was a major idol for Freddy in the last movie. I mean, we had that tease at the end, the headless Superman shot. It was a big deal, and they purposefully left Superman out.
I'm hoping that he gets a mention in the film itself.
Yeah.
But I love that we have Shazam Billy Shazam talking like on a therapy couch. And the guy's like, I'm a pediatrician.
Yeah.
Like,
and then we get the Annabelle shot.
Yeah, if we get the Annabelle doll put in there, and on the back, on the letters, there's an S and there's Starro next to it.
Does it say Starro or does it say Starfish? But
no, picture it just says S, and it has the Starro.
I was gonna say it does have
Starfish.
Starro there. I just didn't know if there was like a word for it.
We see the family working together, but yet we hear like they're having problems as family. We got the reference later. He's like, I've seen all the Fast and the Furious movies.
Yeah, and it's all about family.
We see the wizard. We see the wizard Shazam. And we have in two different places in the trailer. So that's interesting, and we have the three daughters that are here. So it's interesting how the plot's going to work with the being the gods or whatever, when the gods are supposed to be all dead, in a way.
Yeah, I did like the shot of Mount Olympus. I thought that was awesome. I threw a car at a dragon. I love my life. That was great. Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu.
And then Rachel Ziegler is the third one that we don't really see too often. And it looks like the family's going to find out, the foster parents are going to find out about the Shazam's family. The kids with their powers.
Right. I definitely think that a lot of this trailer is a second act, maybe even the third act fight. From a lot of the view from it, the way the world is shifting, the way the fight is, the dragon, the burn marks on the suit, like. I definitely think that there is, that some of that a lot of it's being shown from a specific point that just like a trailer, they're showing you certain things and it's out of context.
Oh yeah, it's all jumbled, and
yeah, very much so.
I do hope that, because there was the rumor that Wonder Woman does appear as a cameo in the film. I hope she does. Dealing with the Greek pantheon and stuff that we're supposed to be touching on in this film. I love that Shazam is kind of like the fanboy who became a superhero. That's what Freddie Freeman is as well, because he's talking about all the other superheroes and he's like, I'm just this chud over here, trying to figure things out when you have all these other great superheroes. I like it. I'm excited for it. I can't wait to take the kids and see it,
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a very, I don't know, it's upbeat and fun. So I can't wait to see Shazam, Fury of the Gods. And that drops, right before Christmas. That's the only kind of bummer. It's like, hey, I'm broke, guys.
Right.
Buy all my Shazam.
Let's go spend $100 at the movie theater.
Guess what everybody's getting for Christmas? You're getting a Shazam shirt. You're getting a Shazam shirt. You're getting a Shazam toy.
Right.
We're all going dressed as Shazam. Let's go. The big man in the red suit's coming.
Shazam.
Shazam. That's what I say when I'm trying to work and I'm tired. I'm just like, Shazam! Doesn't always work how I want it to, though. But hey, that is all the Comic-Con news and stuff that I had, and I think that's a good place to stop.
Yeah, Comic-Con was pretty good.
It was good. We had a lot of good things to chat about. And we'll be back, soon with our regular episodes. We're going to be continuing Superboy. And I encourage everyone to listen to Superboy. I encourage everyone to check out our Patreon for our Supernatural Report episode coming up, number 2. If you haven't, you've probably got episode 1 in your feed for this show. And just check it out. Remember, James is always here for your hugs and concerns if you need him.
Yeah, I wasn't, of course I want more DC coming out of anything like Comic-Con, but I wasn't disappointed.
No, not at all. Not at all.
So I'm happy with a lot of the news that we got, some of the footage and things that we got. I just hope we get some more info later this year. Like you said, maybe a secret fandom coming up.
And that's what we want. So remember.
Look up in the sky. Yes, it's Miss Sailor.
We just want to say, if you've enjoyed this podcast, please check out other podcasts on the Press Play Podcast Network. Remember to check out Krypton Report on all social media platforms. Go to linktree.com/Krypton Report. You find all of our information right there. $1 a month, you'll get extra special content that you don't get on the main show, like movie commentaries and whatever else comes out of our mouths. So check it out, patreon.com/Krypton Report.
If you are like Tyler and James and can't get enough super talk, check out these other podcasts. Digging for Kryptonite, Supergirl Radio, The Last Sons of Krypton, the Superboy Legacy Podcast, All-Star Superfans, Superman the Animated Podcast, The Aspiring Kryptonians, Always Hold On to Smallville, Caped Wonder, The Geek of Steel, and Truth, Justice, and Hope Podcast.
Hey, we're going to press pause and hear a few words from our other podcasts on Press Play Podcast Network.
Hello, Brooks here with the Books with Brooks monthly book club podcast. Here's how Books with Brooks works. We read one book a month, and then we talk about it. Classics like Stephen King's The Shining, debut novels like We Are the Brennans by Tracy Lang, and tons of other compelling, life-changing stories, one book and 1 month at a time. So come read along with us, and then listen in.
This is Dan Jurgens, and if you want to have a good time, keep listening to the Krypton Report.